Welcome everyone to this practice, gentle yoga for grounding and relaxation, for calm and peace of mind. We're going to use a block, maybe two if you have that. You can use a ball instead. And we're going to use a big blanket folded and or a beach towel. Once you gathered your props, you can always press pause to do that. You're going to make your way onto your back. So find a way onto your mat with your head resting on the blanket so you have a little bit of support for your neck. And then you can use one of the blocks or the ball and place it right beside you. Take a moment of grounding here as you place your hands onto your lower abdomen, walk your feet a little bit wider and let your knees fall together. Your eyes are gently closed as you just notice your breath moving your hands. You might notice that with the inhale, your fingers are moving a little bit further, and with the exhale, they're coming together back gently. The back of your body is resting heavy on the mat, and you start to notice the connecting points of your body with the mat. Now let all these points that are touching the ground underneath you, where you feel held and supported, become even heavier. Bring your attention into your hips, where we're working with Muladhara today, the chakra, the metaphor for safety, security. Grab your block or your ball, bring it between your knees, and start to press into the block with the inhale with your arms wide on the floor. As you exhale, you release that pressure and do that twice more. Inhale, pressing into the block. Exhale, release. One more time, feel your inner thighs engaging here as you inhale, and as you exhale, let go. And now we're going to add moves with the belly. So as you inhale, breathe into the belly, the space around your navel, and as you exhale, pull the lower back into the mat. 3 repetitions of that before you bring your arms to frame your body, and with your inhale, lift your hips up. The blocks are still between the knees. Lift your toes up as you shrug your shoulders underneath you, and your chin is moving towards your chest. As your forearms press down, can you lift your right heel as you inhale and lower it with the exhale? Inhale to lift the left heel, exhale, lower down. Take one more breath here to lift your toes, exhale to lower, and then lift your heels with the inhale. Exhale to lower everything down, roll down, vertebra by vertebra to come back to your mat. Shoulders heavy, take a breath. The next inhale lifts your arms up as well as your hips again. You come into another bridge pose, this time with your arms behind you. As you press into the block, your chin is moving a little bit closer towards your chest. Your gaze is going up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, you release. Hands next to the body, hips down. We're going to move the block now between the ankles and then extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Take your arms wide for stability here with the palms facing down this time. And now you can start circling the feet. So you're going to start circling the legs rather in one direction about 5 times, steadily increasing the circle's radius. So you're going to start to make the circle bigger eventually. And you notice how your core is starting to warm up a little bit, how your hips are starting to mobilize. Then press up one more time and switch direction. Keep breathing in and out of the belly as you move here. And as you can see, my legs are slightly bent. There's no need to extend all the way. As you draw your circles into the sky. Step your feet down with the exhale. Once you've finished round 5, extend with the inhale. 3 times to step feet down, lift feet up. 1 more round. Then open the knees into a butterfly pose as you press into the block here. Slowly extend your legs forward and back so that your knees are coming up and out a couple of times. You don't have to go all the way straight with your legs. You can just go halfway and then bring the block back towards you. Open the knees wide. Slide your arms back alongside your body and then start to lift your hips up into a wide-legged bridge pose now. Press your forearms down, press your shoulders down. Your chin is moving gently towards your chest. And you're still pushing into the block with your feet. Exhale to lower the hips back down. Take your time. Take another breath here at Baddha Konasana. And then slide your arms back up behind you and extend the legs all the way down now. Take a long, big good morning stretch here. And then set one foot after the other back onto the mat. Roll yourself over onto your right and come up from here into seated. Make a space on your mat and then extend your legs forward. Take your right knee up. Set the right foot outside of the left leg. Press the foot down. You can also place it to the inside if that's better. Reach through the right thigh and twist open here. Every inhale lengthens your spine up. Every exhale twists your navel a little bit further towards that right knee. Use your breath here. After 2 breaths, come back to center, hug your right thigh in, lift your right foot off the mat, and start to extend that leg forward. So as you can see here, I'm keeping my knee slightly bent. You don't have to straighten it all the way. Hold here, keep your chest wide, start to bend your knee just a little bit, and then hold on to the right foot with your left hand. Hold on to the right knee with your right hand. Now, if this is enough, if this feels like a big stretch in your outer hip, you might stay here, or as you can see, you can bring your elbows around your foot and your knee. Start cradling that leg, roll back a little bit on your mat, then see if you can lift the left leg off the mat. Working your core here while you're opening your right hip. Maybe look up towards the ceiling for a breath before you lower back down. Set the foot down, let it slide out, and switch sides. The left knee lifts, left foot steps outside of the right leg or inside if that feels better. And then the right arm threads underneath the left leg. The left arm reaches back and down. Inhale to press yourself up, lengthen the spine here. Space between your ribs as you exhale, you're moving, rotating a little further towards the left. Press your right foot down as you're twisting, and then come back with the exhale. Hug your left knee in tight towards your chest. Widen the chest towards the leg, and start extending the left leg up towards the ceiling again. Take a breath here, keeping the space in your front body. And then start to bend that knee back again. Hold on to the left knee with the left hand or elbow, right foot with the right hand or elbow, and start cradling. So we're mobilizing the hip joint here for a moment. And then come to stillness, roll back on your sit bones and start lifting that right foot up. See if you can lift the whole leg up. If not, don't worry. You can always just have that idea of lifting it and still working your core. See if you can gaze up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to come back down. Slowly set the foot down. Let the legs slide out. Take a breath. Move your feet. Make your way into all fours from here. Make space on your mat so that you can lie down on your belly. You want to have space in front of you and to your sides as you rest your forehead on your forearms now. Take a few breaths here and just feel the connecting points of your body with the ground. Where are you held and where are you safe? Supported. If you want, you can start sliding your left knee up and out on the floor like a frog. And then bring it back down. Do the same thing with the right knee. Take it out and up alongside the floor so you're still in touch with the surface underneath. Maybe press your hips down gently and bring the leg back down. Now you want to have space in front of you and take your arms right in front of you, palms down, gaze is going down as well, and you start to lift your right foot up. See if you can roll over onto your left side with the right foot stepping next to you and the right arm extending on the floor. You can follow the fingers with your gaze. Now everything opens towards the right before you come back to center, looking down. Lifting the left leg, left foot, Roll over to the other side. It's kind of a funny one. You can open the left knee to the side, left arm widens, and then see if you can go super slowly back to center, right? So see if you can go as smoothly as possible, which for me clearly is not the case. Slide your arms back next to your chest. Roll your shoulders a couple of times, so making sure you're not holding any tension here. And then bend your knees, move your ankles, move your feet. Release the feet back down, press back up into all fours. Bring your knees to touch, your feet to touch, round into Balasana, child's pose. Very, very grounding traditional asana position. Doesn't mean it cannot feel uncomfortable, and if that's the case, come to seated instead. You can just round forward here. If this is what you need, then again, notice your connection to the mat. Roll back up eventually, bring your hands down. Lift up into downward facing dog. Slowly start stepping towards the front of your mat here. Into a forward fold. Grab your block, bring it between the knees, hands onto your hips, reach up into chair pose. So bring the weight into your heels, move your knees back so you can actually see your toes, and then see if you can lift the right foot, arms in front of you, palms face each other. Other side, weight into the right foot, lift the left foot behind you, doesn't matter how high. Arms in front of you, step it back down. Lift the arms up, pull the navel in, widen the arms, exhale here. Roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Give yourself space. And then release the block to the side. Step your feet together and then take a big step back from here with your left foot moving into Warrior Two. So we're going to set up the foundation with the left heel in line with the right arch, right foot pointing slightly towards the front of the mat. Lift your arms up, inhale to stretch the leg, exhale to sit back down into your warrior. Inhale, reach up, exhale, widen, as if you're moving through water like a wave. Inhale and exhale, aligning breath and movement, and then turn your palms back down. Reach forward with the right hand as far as you can go and extend the left arm over the left ear as you place the right elbow onto the right thigh or extend the right fingertips forward. This is a little bit harder to hold for your core. Keep breathing. Come back up, palms face down, parallel your feet here. Now you're going to come halfway forward, looking down, slight bend in the knees. The left hand comes down onto the floor, onto a block if you need. That's totally fine. Right arm lifts up, twist over. You can see I'm doing the block variation on the other side. Right arm down, left arm up. Open up. Bring your hands back down onto the block or onto the floor. Lengthen, take the arms wide. With your exhale, just drop the arms down. Release. Fold forward for a breath or two, and then bring your hands onto your thighs, your hips, and come back up into standing. Move the left foot out. The whole left leg is moving out. Ground through the right foot. Open your arms into Warrior Two. Pull the navel in. Stable, steady base. Again, connection to the ground. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, widen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, widen. Right? Space towards the top. Inhale. Exhale, space towards the sides. Palms face down. Reach forward with the left hand. Place left forearm onto thigh. Reach the right arm over the ear. Maybe lift the left forearm up. Twist yourself open. And then release the arm back down. Stretch out. Widen the arms. Palms face down. Parallel your feet again. Hands onto your hips here. Step your feet together. Take a breath. And then turn towards the front of your mat. We're going to make our way back down again. Take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance. Bend your knees out and come into Malasana. Watch your knees here. If you don't like this, come into a forward fold instead. In your squat pose, bring your arms in front of you and let your head drop. Feel the stretch from your neck down towards the tailbone. And then take your hands behind you and sit down again. back on the ground, cross your shins. This is a little bit funny, so you might want to watch it first. You're going to cross the right shin on top of the left, hold onto your toes with your hands, pull yourself up, pull the toes back, switch the legs, roll back forward, cross, and fold. All right. Once again, hold onto the toes, pull the toes back, switch to crossing, open, fold. Now, you can do that a couple more times and you might feel like you don't want to go as far back or as far forward. That is, again, absolutely, totally great. Just see what works for you here. Right? It's supposed to be fun. It's not about perfect alignment here. Just want to give yourself a little bit of ease, comfort, and then fold. Breathe into your back, especially the lower back area, the hips. Your upper body become really heavy here. Touch the ground with your hands. Again, one of the very calming things to do in times of stress and uncertainty. It is always good to connect to what's underneath you. Switch to crossing up the legs and come back into another forward fold here. You can always stay longer if this turns out to feel really nice on one side more than the other. Please stay longer. Slowly roll back up into seated. Lift your gaze, take your hands behind you to uncross your legs. And then we're going to use our blanket or our beach towel. So we want to open it once or twice so that we can build up kind of like a longer fold. And then I'm going to come into first wide child's pose, that little bit easier variation of this. Knees about mat's distance, feet touch, hands in front of you. Let your heart melt down towards the mat. I'm going to show you option 2 if you're interested in that, which is frog pose. So for this one, we're going to take the feet a little wider in our child's pose and turn the toes out. Now, I like to stay on my forearms. You can also walk your hands a little bit further and surrender here. You can go slowly. This is a yin position, so it takes time. Yin yoga is the practice where you go extremely slow and you hold for 3 to 5 minutes. We're not going to do that, but we are going to try and find some sort of stillness here, even if it feels challenging, right? You do not want to feel pain in your joints, but if it's uncomfortable, if it's a feeling of you want to fidget, then that is okay. We're going to try and just bear with it, right? So again, in times of moving, of uncertainty, sometimes it can be nice to just hold still. Slowly make your way back out whenever you're ready. You can always hold this longer. There's absolutely no rush. Come to seated for a moment. Bring your knees together again. And then take the blanket to the side. We're going to make our way down onto our backs. Now the blanket will come right on top of the lower back and hip area so that you have a little bit of weight here. Right? You want to feel a little heaviness, another very grounding thing to do. I like to usually prop my head up, so if you have a second blanket or a pillow at home, that works pretty well usually. Now, feet are on the floor again, as many connecting points as you can find here. And then maybe even place your hands back onto that blanket so it's even heavier. The whole front side of your body is protected. The whole back side of your body is supported. Allow yourself now to sink a little bit deeper into this support. Allow your body to soften as it's safe and grounded. Imagine your body widening on the mat, as if you're melting away from the center. Your face softens, forehead, cheeks, jaw, even your ears are soft here. And the back of the head is resting heavy. on the blanket, on the mat, on the support, so that the neck can release. Give a last moment to allow your glutes to soften here and the whole area around the hips that we worked with today. And then before we come to stillness, maybe you want to imagine the color red in your inner eye, which is connected to the hip area in yoga. Now, whenever you feel ready to get out of this, there's no rush. You can stay here until much longer. You're going to just start removing the blanket, then rolling your way onto one side to sit up slowly. Close your eyes once you've found your seat. Just take a moment to thank yourself for showing up today. Thank yourself for creating calm and grounding. Namaste. Bow to yourself. Thank you so much for joining me.